Hello. Confused? Not by the least part. I was just looking around for something. Just looking around. I wasn't sure where I was going to look. Could have looked into that room over there. The room? That room over there. Right there. That room there. Yeah. But then I decided, no, I wanted to look into that room there. But I was looking all around and I looked down and I couldn't find my marker on the floor. It was a red one. No, it was a black one. I think it was a blue one. I think all my markers started to move over and I think they were walking. My markers, yes, they were walking. They walked and they walked right into my shower, right into Jacob's corner, right into the train track. You see the train behind me? See the mountains up top? All the Rocky Mountains, deep into the mountains, the layers of the mountains. Into the kitchen where we can see, I can see clearly now, you know, my friends. So we look up onto the roof, onto the ceiling, and we ask ourselves, is that the ceiling or is that the floor? Well, the ceiling is made, if it was made in cement, the ceiling and the floor would be one. If it was made in wood, the support to the floor above would be the ceiling above me. The floor and the ceiling is at the beginning, is at the end. Did I walk to the other side of my den where I seem to have lost something onto the floor? So I looked and I looked and I saw there was a rainbow because the umbrella has been up all night. And I look onto the wall and I see many bricks on the wall. In the time before Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. So they threw him in the rock crusher because he was an old brick or part of the cement gang. So either Humpty Dumpty was moving. Okay, he was moving to get ignited by the oceans, but the oceans did not move the wall. Salty old ocean bringing me the energy so I can communicate as I think within the lakes of my own mind and go down the river before my thoughts are flushed into the toilet in the oceans for the salts to rebuild so I can think another day. I only see Earth in one way. This planet was created for us. Either I'm the dumbest, or I'm the smartest, or I'm like everybody else. If I happen to be the stupidest of everybody and I know less than everybody, then I know the one bit everybody else never knew. And if I knew what you knew, then I'd know and I'd be just like you. So pick a side and put me somewhere because wherever I am, that's fine. I didn't hurt you. I didn't harm you. I didn't ask you to come here. I didn't ask you to look into my head or change my mind. I asked you to change your own. And people don't like to be told what to say or what to think. But I'm going to tell you, change your own mind. It's pretty easy. Don't take my advice. Take your own advice. Isn't that changing your mind? I didn't have to make you. You made it yourself. You decided on your own. It was all you. What we make people think we're giving them, we are giving them for our own deliverance. Our own deliverance, our own purpose, the reality of the purpose of the nature of all is to have the nature that grows within, or grows with, or comes back. Reincarnation in nature. So then nature that destroys gives you life again. So when they start to compare nature's nature and our human nature, do not compare. Unless man's mind can come back again, the body is lifeless. It is nothing. It is the holder of the torch. Do you know why is sometimes I when it's a plural, I-E-S? Because Y sounds like an E. When you say store E, you're saying E for a Y. You're not saying I for a Y, you're saying E. When you're saying store E's, you look like you're saying I's because I's, E-Y-S, is the division of two E's where two sides can see. Two sides are the two sides of the V that take up both sides. Make I and I. Now, if you want to look at what that looks like, the reality of that is is it's two pyramids where they meet underground at the same angle of energy. Can I draw that for you? Let me draw that for you. It's where you have a pyramid here, right? You have a pyramid here, right? And then the reality is you have a pyramid here, the reflection. That is your E inside your Y. Over here, showing you the two sides, the energy that is conducted to resurface from the left side onto the right side and continue on into your life. You have this pyramid over here. But this pyramid must be in the center of something. In order to have any reality, it must be the grinding gear in the center. If there was one gear in the center with all alligator teeth, what was sticking out from this side would be sticking in from this side. Where the void is on the right, the void is filled by the left. The void is here, it is filled by the right coming into the left. The hard spots are here, there must be a void all the way around. The inside is the completion of the gear. The outside is the moving parts. And there is only one alpha and there is only one omega because the chain starts here. And by the time it gets to the rotary of the tractor, of the bulldozer, it's already gone over here, the teeth. So we have this over here. So we go down like this, right? And then we go down like this. Now the reality of this is see this over here? This is the same pyramid. And the end of this pyramid meets and joins at the end of this pyramid. So this part where X marks the spot is because of these two pyramids. Now this is the passing engine divided between the left and the right. The left and the right, the top left and the bottom left and the center. 3, 6, 9. This is a pole, this is in rotation. This must stand standing off of 1. Why? Meaning it is now, once I continue this one more time, this way over here, I must program, okay, this, okay, as the formation where, how can I design it, where, hold on. I think it goes like this. Now you have the east-west for the height difference. You have the S, okay? At the same time, you have this, you have this, you have this over here, okay? Then you must have your S over here, the continuous of the S, the continuous of the S. But then this S must automatically, okay, be exactly like this. Here is your 5. Here is your S. Your S comes from this point. It comes over to the other side. Okay? It comes over to the other side and it continues. And it continues. And it does this. Under both the upper and lower reflective pyramids. Do you see this? The over and other pyramids. But instead of showing the lines and going square, they go round. Here is your 5 on your 45-degree angle. Here is your S encompassing a cube over here and the cube over here. These cubes are on 45 angles. These squares are on 90. The squares are on 90, and they count for multiplication. This angle counts for on the cross because of the high point, and the cross high points are in the center, not in below. So these are the two cubes. 90 and 45 degrees is 135. Did I ever show you what 135 is? Do I have 135 over here? I'm going to show you what 135 is. The letters are A, C, and E, right? The letters are A, C, and E. Letters are A, C, and E. But this 1 and this 3, this 1 dot, this 3 dot, and this value over here, inside of here, okay, is 0,3 because there is none of this. But this would be 4,3. Why would this be 4,3? What can we call that this is 4? Because this is 4 empty spots. There are only maximum of 6 dots on a dice, but when the dice is on the square this way or the square this way, two different 90-degree angles. One 90-degree angle is this way because the dice is square, and one 90-degree angle because the dice is squared. These 90-degree angles will create this, will create the X, will create the X. They also create the O. They connect the 4 on the outside and they create the X, but only the 6 can create the X because of the 1 dot in the center. And the N and the Z and the I. This is the only one. 1 minus 6, 1 plus 6, 5 and 7. 5 and 6 come together because 5 is on the cross. It is the plus sign. It is also the 0, 4 corners connecting together, and 4 and 1. But 5 and 3 and 1, take that angle, is on 5, it is lost. Take the other angle, take any angle you want except for this angle, and this is the only angle. 5 will now create 5 plus 2, 7. This is the only 7 you can get. Now, if we created this 7, this is not the same as this. You see this? This is the middle weight is over here. Here's the weight on the outside. Here's the greatest distance is in the center. This is on the cross plus. This is a multiplication angle of 90. 5 by 90 is 450. 3 plus the angle of 45 is 135. 135 and 450 is 585. 40, 40, 53, 53 electric company, creating plus and minus, creating the plus, which would equal to the 0, and the 1, 0, 1. Anyways, I don't want to look at it that way. This one is connected to 303, 313 is the dot. So this actually 3 dot is not a 3 dot because we're going to move the center one out. And the 5 dot, we removed from the 3 and the 5, the 1. So from 3, 5, 1, we end up with 2 and 4. But since 2 is in 4 twice, we don't need the 2. And all we can play with is the 4. So the 4 counts. Okay, inside the 4 counts for all of these, but the 5 counts for all of the 4. So all we need to go inside of 5 is 1 and 3. So it's 5, 1, 3. 5 by 13 is 65. 351 letters in the alphabet. 513 says ace. 1 and 2 create 5 and 3. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 1 times 2 equals 2. 3 and 2 equals 5. 5, A, B, C. But I don't need to say A because it's already here. 3, 2, 5. You can say what you want. 52 is Earth, the heart of Earth. 1, 2, 2. 2 times 2. 2 times 1, 2 plus 1 equals to 5. 0, 5. What is equal to 0, 5? 1 and 4 and 2 and 3. The N letter and the W letter and the E letter. W-E-N. New. Brand. New. DNA. Red and brown, it's the same color. B2, R18. But this is 02. So 02 says it had to be created from other letters. So it had to be created from K11. It had to be created by T20, which automatically becomes 26. F goes into 18 3 times. 2 and 3 makes up for the first 5. 2 and 3 makes up for the first 5. Do you want to know about Helen and Mary? What was Helen and Mary in the Bible? Helen and Mary, H and M, Hashem. Hashem chemicals, 1 and 8. What's in between 1 and 8? 2 and 7. That's right. In between 1 and 8 is 2 and 7. What is 1 and 8? What is our science about? What is 1 and 8? There is a reality to this. I would love to see somebody show me their reality of these dice. Show me the reality of a calculator. Show me the reality of an alphabet in simpleton tones, meaning let's start with the basic numerology where we take the roulette table and we're all gamblers and we all see on the roulette table 36 numbers on the table plus all the outside and zeros. Or we go up to blackjack and we check those rules. So we check with the biggest numbers in America, Las Vegas numbers. and what they're giving for odds on every single card. What are the payouts and what are the realities? Because that's the basic truth. We got percentages backed up. Planets with names, positions, and coordinates. Take the basic. I'm not that smart to know everything, and it would take eternity for a normal life. Though they made it easy. Let's go down easy street. Earth is the third planet. It starts with the fifth letter, E. It's the first E, which is 05, in which 05 is only part of the puzzle. It's where does 5 fit? What is 5? Well, if I'm going to be 5, I'm going to be in the middle of everything. I'm going to be the dot in the middle of 4. I'm nothing and anything at all. I am the whole. I fill up the gap of all areas in between. I'm 1, I'm 5, I'm in the center. I'm the heart of all. But I need the one spirit to come into me to make the enlightened of 4 to light me up. Then I'm nothing at all until that energy comes in and I start to think through the one whole of the one spirit of the four parts of the 1, 2, 3, 4 on the outside. I take the 4 on the outside and the incoming spirit. So that's 4. The incoming spirit is 5, and then me. But am I only 20%? Oh, wait a second, 20% of the information coming in? Or 20% of what I do with the information? No, it must be 100% of what I do with the information. Since it's coming in, there's 2 choices of chance. Either completely run by the information or balance it upon my logic. Balance has 2 sides, therefore 20 equals 10 and 10, 2. My logic makes it 3, but it makes the in-between 3 a 2. It makes 3 periods. 33, 33, and a third percent. The third percent, of course, must be the answer. The gap, the difference, either that we don't know or we do know. Whether we were successful in the answer or we weren't. That would be the gap. We filled it all in. You know, when you're opening up, you're bringing a bridge together, well, you're stopping it. If it's extending 6 feet this way, then it must have been 6 feet this way. So all that area space it moved, well, you ain't using it, but you gapped through it. You used its space. I passed. Sorry, sir, I got to go into your driveway. Well, go right ahead. Do you have a plane? Because I got a big hole. You can't come in from the street. 351135. It says ace. We went to the letters Hashem. I talked about Helen and Mary, Helen of Troy, all the Marys of the world, Marys and Mars. Y in Mars or Mary is the division between EI and S. In French, they exchange the E for an I. When we say Y, we usually say Y in the sound of E. In my name, Ronnie, it's NN and Y. We say New York. York, your. We don't say Y, we say you. We now say U for a Y. We say E for a Y. We say U for a Y. It's E and U both exchange for the Y. So what is the reality of the Y? It comes from the E and the U. E is 5, U is 21, 26 comes from Venus-Saturn mixture, in which inside of Venus they now put Pluto, and inside of Saturn they now put Uranus. So your birth that sits inside of Pluto, the head of everything, the head of Mars on one side of the table, the head of Saturn on the other, but you're all swimming and under the skies of Neptune. Because that's what the numbers say in Helen and Mary. Helen is actually the H letter, and Mary, obviously, to make it simple, it's the M initial to begin with. Mary and Helen put M and the H letter together, and it says Hashem, Helen and Mary, Mount St. Helens, the glory of God, all the dust he spewed into the air to give the reflection upon man one more time, to set things back. So when you see a Y at the end, Y sounds like I. It's replaced in a plural sometimes. You never say Ronnie's. We're going to Ronnie's house. You leave the Y because it's a noun. You put the S. You don't put the I-E-S. Use Y with the S. Y25, S19 equals to 44. The space you go is to Ronnie's house. Hashem, Helen and Mary. I, E, and Y, E, and I, and Einstein, where they both addition to 5 and 14. 5 and 9 are actually the same because the 5 is like magic. When the 5 stands next to 9, it disappears into 9 because man, who is the E of 5 inside of 9. 3 times 3 is 9, and 1, 3, and 5 are in each other. Therefore, 5 must be inside 9. Just like I showed you on the paper, 1, 3, and 5, the way they go into each other. 3 is only of 3 levels. If you have a top left, you must have a bottom right. Well, it'll be a top left, bottom right. Can there be something in between? Yeah, the middle center. So wait a second. Top left means bottom right, which means you can have bottom left. Which top right and bottom left says you can have top right and top left. So now you got 4, but you got nothing in the center. Put 3, you got 7. And all the in between. The size of the drawer. And you know what's funny? If the drawer is on the top left of the drawer, top right of the drawer, or in the center, it's not up against the side. It's not squared off. Do you know that you can make any design you want on the outside of anything, but once you cut something straight down the center, the other side of that world is flat. So if you took the egg, no matter how round the egg is, and you cut a slice out of it, it's flat. And I got proof. They play it on ice. They take a round ball, and if you've got 2 slices of the round ball at enough thickness to make a hockey puck, you can get that going. That round ball is now going on the ice. It's flat. It's all around, but flat on top and flat on the bottom and a little souffle. We've built ourselves a cake. Yummy, muddy pie. Pie, mix me up, 3.14159265. Don't say no. 14 and 15, just by the word no, you have said zo, you have said Oz. Because the N and the Z and the angle coming from one side to the other side, it makes a whole story in my mind. Because I make it simple. I make it easy. And I believe. Because you created it through the odds and the names of the planets and all the letters in the alphabet and where you put all the numbers on them calculators and telephones. And every time you changed it with a reason. And if you can find the reason in the change, then you can add the change on to the reason, and either it's similar and exact, or it's changed because there's something completely different. And don't forget that when you walk in, you walk out. Because you're always moving forward out from one into another. They are together, they are one, H and I. You are in between the 2 sides of the standing of the I of who you are. It is all in the hips. The hips. It's not how tall you are, it's how short you are. Somehow, I don't know. Is it the saucer, right? We got 2 saucers on us. Isn't that great? 22, 22. We got 2 saucers. Where are they? Well, we've got a receiving dish, right? But when you're sitting down, you're receiving that energy from the seat of your ass. I don't want to make a joke right now. It wasn't Tijuana, Taiwan starting to watch me. But if you're with your sombrero down in your head saying, sombre, sleep, bear, sleep, I'm thinking, I'm contemplating. Because when these guys work, they work. But when the sombrero goes down, we don't work. Okay, the quarter, the dime, the nickel, the penny, how do they go together? Do you ever see this? If this was lower down here, this would actually look like a rooster. I'm telling you, it's all about the rooster. You know why? Because it's all about the core. C-O-R. Core. R-O-C. Rock. You know what rock is? Not rock and roll. It's the rooster. It's the white rock. I know. Poulet à chair. Poulet à chair. My first French composition. My grandfather helped me with that, and it got me through school. Just that one thing that I memorized, okay? And I memorized it to today from my French class from when I was 16 years old. That's 36 years later. Le poulet à chair. All about the egg, the cycles of the egg, and the cycles of the birth of a chicken, and the cycles of the pig, and how much a pig eats and how much a chicken eats. Although I don't remember some stuff, but I know by the time the pig's done, he's eating 6 pounds of feed a day at the end of his life. I know how they weigh it against the pig fat. I know how they take out one of the most disgusting things I ever see with the chicken is a little like worm that they pull right out of here, out of the chicken's throat. It's a special thing that they really want to get out of the whole thing. I don't know what they call that. And there was a reason for it. There was a reason for turning them upside down. There's a reason for turning everything upside down. Doesn't it show that when you turn it upside down, the blood flow runs easier into your head than out of your feet? Because the feet splits the body in 2. The neck condenses the body in 1. And it's all a drain because everything is inside. You ever see the inside of chicken, the way everything is hanging? or inside of an animal, it's like there's an ocean inside of it. Everything is floating like in the blood. The blood bath is like an oil. Imagine removing all the oil in the world. It'd be like the Jetsons. That you don't think if the oceans were run by gears, okay, and tilts, you can't take away everything that's helping it to tilt. The rock of the ocean is the sway inside baths and baths of oil so the ocean can rock. Unless this planet is one forever and came, and when it blows up and it is gone, there will never be again. If you think that we are alone here and that after us there is nobody else and we were the only special ones to learn so much, so fast and so much, and we don't know enough or anything at all. Is that what you think? Then your life is done. It's not worth anything. There is no God. But if there is a God and he built it with the same way we would build it. It's our earth. How do we build our earth? Hydraulics. We move with machinery. Therefore, the planet we live was constructed with machinery within inside. Bales and hails of storms inside, freezing and heating and boiling for construction underneath the ground in the hell zone. The heaven electric that takes everything that is above and brings it below only so we can have a party under the sun. For when we see a bad day, it's a great day because they're building the energy for the next day. And up and down we move within the skies of our own galactica universe, thinking that we are the only ones. Do you think you're the only one? 7 billion, 22 billion human beings, 96 billion human beings since the beginning of mankind. There couldn't have been anything else. There couldn't have been anything else. 1 million human beings, okay? The average of 1 billion human beings on this earth times 6,000. That's the maximum number. Animals, let's say more. 6 minutes is 360 seconds. That's one turn. But in order to make this turn, we just learned that it took this 2 over here to make that turn. Only this one over here. It's 2 and 4 in between the 3 connects. 2, 3, and 5? No, it's 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4. On the opposite side of 2, 3, and 4, the baseball of 2, 3, and 4 is 1, 5, and 6. The baseball. 1, 5, and 6. What is in between 1, 5, and 6? It's 2, 2, 4, 5. 2, 4, which is actually saying 3, 5. 3, 5, okay, because it gets its 1, 3, 5, 5, 3. Because 4 and 5 are played inside of 5 and 2. This is the baseball. 2 C's. A C this way, and then a C this way. This is the way you hold it. How many fingers do I use? I'm only using 5 because it's coming in. You see what I'm saying? The back. There's an in and an out. There's 1 door to 3 walls. So there's 1 door to 3 walls to a ceiling and a floor. 1, 3, 2. 1, 3, 2. If you're standing with your back to the wall facing the door, okay, you are now facing 1. But below 1 and 1. When you face the door, you are on the floor below the roof. When you're outside, you are facing 1 and you are behind by 1. 101 outside the box. But when you're inside the box, it's 3 and 1. Now this is a 29-minute video and I wanted to show you one more piece on the core where it's the 3rd, the 15th, and the 18th letter, 33. 5 and 8 is the creation of the matrix spirit. 5 by 8 is 40. 5 plus 3 is 15 is 53. 40, 0 equals 6 equals 5, 9. 5, 9 is E and I, which is a representation of the Y, which is the split between the E and the U, the electronic of the universe, because it joins 2 universes, 2 sides. You join the top, the left side to the right side, but you join the sky, you join the sky above and the earth below, and you live in between, because what's in between, what was cut out of the hockey puck that I spoke before, there's a flat surface left in between, and you live on the top of that egg. And you live below the other egg. and everything that's carved out or put wherever it is are the houses you built from within that egg. Isn't that what we're doing to Earth anyways? C, gold. Gold. Energy gold. It's a C and not an E. The E is the fifth letter because it's three of two parts. C and E and I are always the same, and they look the same. They design the same. I'm missing one thing. Curl here. This is a C. I curled it. I made a mistake. It looks like an E. But the C with a line in it, okay, is actually a U changed to an E. Very easy to change because of their own realities. This is the 18th letter. This is the 15th letter. 5 by 3 and 6 by 3. 5 and 6. Everything is 5 and 6 because the other side of 1 is 5. It took 1 and 3 because it took 1 and 3. Why did it take 1 inside of 3? Because 2 and 1 came together to create the 3. And then 3 and 2 came together, okay? You have to connect them twice because you have to reconnect them into creation. If you have a circle, you need 4. This one you need 3. You have to bring them into creation. You're adding the back door to C. 6 by 3 and 3 is 6. 6 by 3 is 18R. 5 by 3. You're bringing the chord together. 15. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 by 6 is 30. This is the 3rd letter. This is the 15th letter. This is the 18th letter. 18 and 15 is 33. 15 and 15 is 30. 5 by 3 is 15. So over here there is 11. To create this, I need 11 of these. 11 C's. 11 C's. Anyways, 18R, 33, 36. 69. 3 by 3 is 9. 333 is a pig's pregnancy. 336 is 12 moons. You have a crocodile. Do you have the core? Rock, a dial, angel dial, a crow, and a dial. Does a crow dial? So you dial with a beak. So you dial with a beacon. You're not calling anybody. The old dial signal. Instead of dial, it's signal ID 4 and 9. Why do you signal the ID? Because now you're on the rivers of Babylon. You are the Vikings in the sky, and you signaled with a skylight, like a satellite, or signaling in the sky tonight, starlight, star bright, single me tonight. Lyra, read me. When you see this over here, this is part of Lyra. Why is it part of Lyra? Because the A inside the D, where it's the first initial, if you want to use, which is 4, which is 04, which means it's a combination. How do I get D? I need 414. Okay, I need 2 worlds inside a crocodile, 1 to dial out and 1 to receive. Automatically 414. You need in between equals to 9. 9 and 9 equals to 18. The 18th letter, 1 to dial out, 2 living souls to live. 9 and 9 is 18. We need the letter R. We have Lyra inside of this word. We need balance inside of this word because once you have A and I, the first thing between 1 and 9 is 2 and 8. 2 and 8 is time heaven. It is balance. It is the B company. It is the company of whatever is in the toolbox. 333, 33. What is in that toolbox? It's all the toolcase. Venus came with a toolkit. Oh my God, light me up in the sky. Venus came with a toolkit. Everyone's got a toolkit. Wow. And 4 and 9, September and April. December, November, October, September. September is the 4th month. September, 5th month. August, July, June, May, April, okay, is the 9th month. Is that correct? April is the 9th month. September is the 4th month. December, November, October, right. 4 and 9 equals to Mars, and also equals to the 91st day of the year is April 1st. 4 and 9 equals 36, and 4 and 9 equals 13 equals 49. 7 times 7 equals 49 is 7th gate. 4 and 9, 4 exists in everything. 9 and below do not count. 10, it is an expression card of both worlds, so we don't count it. 9 and 10 are just expressing themselves. that once you create both worlds, you create one world within you, living upon the two worlds connected together. Because before you were here, you were around. But now you're here, you're still around. But when you leave here, you're saying, oh shit, where am I before that? Where was I? Sitting under the tree for 100 years ago. Where was I? Long time ago. Could have been before I was born. Oh, surely was, because I don't remember. I reckon I'd remember if I was from this planet. But I am. But life is but a memory of a passing time. Borrowed a stick. Came down into this world. 35, 35. Look at I did. I painted myself what can I say? What did I paint over here? You want to tell me what I paint? What I paint? I be painting. Oh, hold on a second. That must be photoshopping. You photoshopping this? Stop moving the camera so much. What are you talking? Of course this is all Photoshop. This doesn't exist. This is all white. That's my apartment. There's my apartment right there. Oh, 6. What do you see here? It's 444. Why? The ones in between? We'll meet halfway. I didn't ask you. I want to know the furthest point. So the furthest point is 1 and 3. So if the furthest point is 1, 2, 3, right? Why is it 1, 2, 3? I only have to take a step into the center and then a step to the right, right? But what about the space from here and the space from here and the extra space in between? These areas are actually smaller than they are. So we go from here to here. From here to here is 1. We land here is 2. We come off of here to next to here. Hold on a second. We go over here. Okay. Well, we'll do it over here. We go from here to here, right? Look at the size of this. This is taking up part of this one and part of this one, as this one is taking up part of this one and part of this one. So we go from here and into here is one jump. Okay. So it's 1, 2, and then we have to jump from out and into the middle here. Okay. So we jump from here, 1, we jump here. We land 2, we jump 3, we land 4. We go 5, we jump 6, we land 7, we jump 8, we get 9. We have 1, 2 in between, and each of these are valued at 2. This one's valued at 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and then 1 here and 1 here, the in and the out. As you see 3 plus the in-betweens, remember, the in-between is the separation of 2. That means whatever's in between has 2 times the value of its area space, because this area space has opened up to join that area and this area, engulfing its own area, so you don't see the center of this, because the center of these 2 is right through this, but the center of these 2 is only over here, not avoiding going through this center. But imagine if the white spaces were trees, and you couldn't go anywhere else but into here. Imagine this white space was a whole tree lot. Or is it the earth and you drilled into the earth? Let's not look at that anymore. Helen and Mary, H and M, 2 very important letters. Mayhem. Eagle, test flight. Is it test flight or is it an ogle? Why would it be an ogle? Because the E and A come together. E and A create the O. It says instead of test, it says eagle, it says ogle. Why don't we say Google or goggles? Because it's a flight test. Google's flight test. Egotisticals. Ego testicles. Your testicles are egotistics. Or statistics. Are your testicles statistics? So now we have to balance our testicles. Radio, because this is 04. Saying what 04? Is it AC 04? Or is it 2204? Now, what would be AC04? AC04 would be, well, we're going to assume. AC can say we're going from A, the first floor, to B to C. How many floors? There are 3. So if we're in floor 1 or we're in room 3, we're either in 1, 3 or we're in 1 is in the center, right? In this area, 1 is in the center, right? 1 to the left, 1 to the right. What would we pick for rooms? What is the number? Is this an elevator coming up this way? To the left and to the right of the center. 1 left, 1 right to the center. This one, there's 2 to the right. This one, there's 1 to the left, 1 to the right. So this is 1 and this is 3. We call it 4, 5, and 6 because 4, 5, and 6 is the greatest extension. Do you see the points on this dice? 4, 5, and 6 is the greatest extension. We don't have a 4, 5, and 6 here. This is either 3, 5, and 7, or it's 1, 5, and 9. But the greatest balance and center of the cross is 4, 5, and 6. When the 3 runs 4, 5, and 6, that is the greatest. Otherwise, it runs this way, and they must run both ways because of the voids. This is the divided two sides. Divided two sides. Or you can go W underneath each one. Two sides come together. Imagine splitting this and putting a gear or a clock in it. So it would have to be 3 spikes in that clock. 1, 2, 3. The center one, the 2 on the outside would be used to stabilize the bar in the center. So this is your 4, 5, 6. This is your 2, 5, 8. This creates the cross. And these, this one and this one, okay, this is your cross. This is your plus, and this is a plus. But if we do it this way, this one, this is your multiplication, this way and this way. So this is your 90-degree multiplication of 3. And this is your 45 degree once, 45 degrees twice. See the way the 6, that doesn't matter. If it's this way, the 6 will be on this side, right? But what if I took it, right? See that one over there? Since this has to stay on the top, okay? This way the 6 is here, the 1 is here. Now if I turn it completely around, it's just the opposite of what it is. 5 comes 3, 5 comes 2, and 6 comes 1 of the light. So it's all what the dice say. It's all what the dice say. Radio says Ra. D is the 4th letter. D upside down is the H. But at the same time, it's H10, 410. Ra 410. Freedom, Etash. What is this? These are the initials. M, R, M, F are my initials. TH, Fremeth is my last name. TH, teach. T and H, teach, time heaven. Tash means a role to do. Freedom, M is me. Free me, R is electronic. Free thee something electronic in us. The plug-in that we are. If there are 5, right, and we are one of the, if there are 5, we are 1 and we get to choose 1, there would be 4 left. When we choose 2 of 5, when we choose 3, when R1, when every one you choose, whenever, sorry, let me do it another way. There's 4. There's 4. If you choose 1, the other, it dissolves. So there's only 1 and 1 left. If there's 4 and you choose 1, there is only 1 and 1 left. 1 above and 1 below. There is another calculation that I did with the percentage of 666 divided by 9. And I came up with an answer that I don't explain. This is my donut explanation, where here's the hole, which is number 5. 3 points for the rim, 2 points, and 1 point. 1 point is only for a foul, so it's an extra throw into the hole. You don't need the point in the hole, but you get the extra thought. The 2-point shot is a regular shot. Every time you shoot from the rim, because when you're shooting from here, the spirit you're shooting at is over here. So it's shooting, it's always a 2-point play, because it's what you shoot, the truth of what you shoot, what the other person thinks. And the 3, so right away you have 3 different positions to get scores over here. So you need this one and you need this one. This one, these 2 come from this one, meaning you get the free throw inside your chance you took instead of the error somebody else made. The chance you took, the error somebody else made. The 1 point or the 2 extra throws. The donut would be the 6 for the 3-point play from outside the arc. You're outside the donut. So 3 to go in. 2 sides, 3 and 2 is 5. Getting the center, scoring 3 points, or out. There's another formation I wanted to show you. 2 more things I want to do. I know I just got a little bland just now. I'm going to do this in the next video. There's a few things that I left out. There's a lot of things I'm doing. We're going to reach 44 minutes, 44. I do not think of anything I do. I just do it. And when I told you about ego testicles and making it the hard way, when you talk about the hard way, you're talking about 3 and 3. You're talking about 2 and 2, 5 and 5. You're not talking about 6 and 6. You're not talking about 1 and 1. Okay, 1 and 1, 6 and 6, numbers of the light paid the number to creation, and that is the odds of Las Vegas. When I told you about April, September is the 4th month. September and April, S and A. September and April, September and, is it September? Hold on a second. August and May. June and July is 6 and 7, 13. May and August is the 5th month and the 8th month, 13. And April and September are the 9, 4, 13. All other months are doubled. January, October, February, November, March, December, 33, 22, 11. 2, 3, 4. The months inside the vibration. CL, ABC, CL, Cain and Abel. 2 and 11 is red, blue, electronic love, blue. M13 coming from the sun. This is the letter M. 1 and 10 equals to 17, the Queen and the King, January and October. You see these? Why do I bring Jehovah here? Because all the A's in piano, when you run under the piano code, it says Jehovah right away to begin with. 8th letter. Why the 10th letter? Because the first one is actually 10. Why? You need to complete a cycle. We need to advance the cycle of A and B into C. So every time you create the cycle A and B into C, the first one that you ring is when you're reading a book, it tells you about the first 7 keys. So in piano, we speak the first 7 keys, take away the first 7 keys in piano and play with the next 45. Or take away the first 2 keys in the piano or 3 keys in the piano and start by the 4th key and end on the I'm trying to figure out, or just take away A and B at the beginning and then A and B at the end and just end on G and start on C. And it's the same thing as Nibiru. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. There's tons. I am so far behind. When I don't continue my vibration, when I don't have this vibration going, I am flat out finished. But once you get started and you have Jaja Mama come in, then it's a little bit easier. Anyways, we're reaching 47:47. Time is done. Get ready for the rest of the summer. Thank you for watching.